Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. And we're starting here with a really interesting rumor regarding the next God of War. It seems as though it will be taking place in Egypt, at least based off of what one insider is insinuating. So we have a report here from Push Square. It says God of War has a habit of introducing players to some seriously iconic weaponry, and if Kratos really is heading to Egypt for the next stretch of his journey, it seems this trend could continue. The Greek-era games brought us the unique Blades of Chaos. The Norse duology saw Kratos favor the Leviathan axe. Now, in a recent podcast, Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming has said that the next mainline God of War title will introduce an Egyptian sword as Kratos' weapon of choice. He doesn't go into much detail, only saying that it will be like the one used by the prince in Prince of Persia. And so the article continues by reminding us that Egypt is teased directly in the Norse games if you're paying close enough attention, and we've even seen concept art depicting the mythology in the past. And on top of that, Insider Gaming itself has already made claims about the setting of the next mainline God of War game in a previous report. So it seems as though all signs are pointing towards what I think a lot of people were anticipating, that being that the next God of War is going to take place in Egypt. And, you know, Tom Henderson is a very reliable source, and he's been giving us little bits of information here and there about what specifically Sony Santa Monica is working on. So what we know is that they have a mainline God of War game in development. There is a 2.5D Metroidvania God of War game that they're not directly developing, but I think helping on, that we're going to hopefully see revealed soon. And then we also know that Cory Barlog has a new game in development as well. And we're, waiting to find out what that's going to be. So I could be wrong on this one, but it seems as though Santa Monica has 2 AAA games in development and a side project with another studio that they're working on. But yeah, either way, apparently that's what Kratos is going to be wielding in the next God of War. So let me know your thoughts on that. We're going to move on to the next topic here, which talks about Bloodborne. We have an update from insider Jeff Grubb, and unfortunately it's not a great one. People always talk about Bloodborne and whether or not Sony's going to do more with it. Tokyo Game Show's coming up. Sony's going to be doing a state of play soon. So naturally, people wonder if Bloodborne is going to be a thing. And according to Jeff Grubb, he recently checked with his sources surrounding anything going on with the Bloodborne IP, and he says, quote, "Nothing is happening with Bloodborne," end quote. So it's worth noting that this comment was made in relation to the upcoming state of play. So there is a chance that the source he was speaking to was just simply saying that nothing Bloodborne related is going to be showing soon. But a lot of people are kind of interpreting this as Jeff Grubb saying that, nothing's happening with Bloodborne. Sony's just not doing anything with it. I would find that kind of difficult to believe, just because it's like, surely Sony knows what they have with Bloodborne, and Miyazaki has expressed interest in wanting to do more with it at some point. He even said that that's kind of up to Sony. So yeah, I don't know. I guess just take this for what it is. But, considering we're going to be seeing a Sony show soon, for any of you that are hoping for Bloodborne, it's not going to show up. Moving on to the next topic, though, we are getting the full rundown of what Sony will be bringing to the table at Tokyo Game Show. It says Sony has barely set foot in a consumer convention for years now, but it's ending its exodus for the Tokyo Game Show. To be fair, it did have a small presence at the event last year. The show, which is set to go underway on 25th of September, will see PlayStation bring a slew of playable titles. And so here's what's going to be there. Battlefield 6, Digimon Story Time Stranger, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, Fishbowl, Ghost of Yotei, Luminous Arise, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, Meteora, A Challenge to Time and Space, Neo 3, Onimusha Way of the Sword, Phantom Blade 0, Resident Evil Requiem, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and The Seven Deadly Sins Origin. It says, of note, the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls demo will be an updated version with both Ghost Rider and Spider-Man playable. There will also be new stages on display for the very first time at the event. So there you go. It's worth noting that TGS, like it says here, is happening on September 25th. It's highly likely Sony will do their event before the 25th. I don't think they're going to do it after TGS. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what else may show up at Tokyo Game Show. Moving on from that, we're actually shifting gears and talking a little bit about Xbox because we have more bad news regarding the pricing of the Xbox consoles. And, this definitely should concern those who are wondering if Sony or Nintendo are going to increase the price of their hardware. It's hard to determine, but this is being reported once again by Push Square. They say more expensive than it was at the launch. The price of the PS5 has been heavily affected by the current climate of tariffs imposed by the USA government. It now costs $550 for a base unit with a disk drive, but hey, it could be worse. What if it was $650? That's apparently the new price of the Xbox Series X and S, according to Windows Central, which has shared cost increases across the full range of Xbox Series systems. Here's what the new prices will be. They're going to be going up, I believe, on October 3rd, so very soon. I don't know how many people are planning on going out and buying Xboxes, but if you're planning on doing so, now would be the time before the price increase kicks in. And it says here it was being reported by Windows Central. It has been officially confirmed, by the way. It's not like a rumor. But the Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte model, the previous price was $380. It's going up to $400. For the Series S 1 terabyte, it was at $430. Now it's going up to $450. For the Xbox Series X disk drive, it was at $600. It's now going to be $650, which is absolutely insane. And the digital version of the Xbox Series X is $550. It's going up to $600. And then finally, you have the Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Edition, which is going up to $800. Literally cannot believe that. I'm not sure who's going to buy that, but, another price increase for the Xbox Series consoles. And, there's a lot of speculation happening right now. Like, is this truly because of the tariff situation, or does this have to do with profit margins? I feel like the two kind of go hand in hand here. There's no doubt in my mind that Microsoft wants to make sure they are not losing money, but actually making money on every Xbox console sold. We've talked about this in the past, and it's worth bringing up here again. Microsoft's new mentality going into consoles is they will make consoles and sell them like they are here with the Xbox Series, but they no longer care about how many units they sell. What they're focused on is every unit they sell, they want to make money on. They don't want to lose money on them. This seems to be, I would say, going more so in that direction. But yeah, people are quite shocked by this. So there you go. Moving on, we have some interesting information about how much it cost Sucker Punch to make Ghost of Yotei, and the cost of it may shock you. It's being reported again by Push Square. It says, in an era where blockbuster open-world games cost unfathomable sums of money to make, Ghost of Yotei looks like it'll be a profitable endeavor for Sucker Punch. Speaking in an interview with GameFile, boss Brian Fleming explained that the sequel had a similar development budget to its predecessor. We know Ghost of Tsushima cost around $60 million to make, so it's fair to assume its follow-up is in the same ballpark. While this is still a lot of money, it means Sucker Punch should have no trouble making its investment back. We know, as of September 2024, that Ghost of Tsushima has sold around 13 million units, so obviously that made Sony and Sucker Punch quite a bit of money. But yeah, it's definitely worth noting that Sucker Punch is somehow keeping the budget of their games this low when you hear reports about, for example, a game like Spider-Man 2 reaching like $300 million, going over budget, but there's nothing dramatically different about that game. You hear Neil Druckmann saying that Intergalactic is going to be the most expensive game Naughty Dog ever made. And so, yeah, you do have to wonder if maybe Sucker Punch is just kind of showing how it should be done, potentially. But, it'll be interesting to see if whatever they do beyond Ghost of Yotei will end up being more expensive than the $60 million they put into Tsushima and Yotei. So there you go. Just figured I would, let you guys know about that. It's pretty interesting. But moving on to the next topic, we're talking about Metal Gear and how Konami is now asking which Metal Gear Solid title we would like to see remade next. Konami is scheduled to host another Metal Gear Solid production hotline live stream next week as part of TGS, focusing on the online Fox Hunt mode for MGS Delta Snake Eater. There will be a survey going out after the showcase, polling fans on their thoughts, but the questions have actually already made their way online. The most interesting questions have been shared online by the Metal Gear Network social media account, and one asks the following: please select all of the following Metal Gear series titles that you would like to see remade. And so the only one that is missing, obviously, is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, but they're asking pretty much about every single title, even the original Metal Gear games for the MSX. And so, yeah, I just thought that this was worth sharing because it's clear that they're going to be remaking more Metal Gear Solid games. And I feel like this is a tough question to answer, to be honest. I mean, we want to see them all remade eventually, but which one should they do next? Should they do Peace Walker? I mean, technically, if we're just trying to go in timeline order, that would be the one to do next. But, you know, a lot of people are thinking maybe Metal Gear Solid 1. But if they do Metal Gear Solid 1, it's going to... I mean, I'll be honest, I think they're going to have to do a lot to really make it up, I guess, contemporary in some ways, make it feel like people are not going back and actually playing a PS1 game. So they're, you know, their work would be cut out for them, certainly. But either way, I just thought you guys should know that there will be a Metal Gear production hotline coming up focused on the Fox Hunt mode, which I'm very interested in. And they're really curious what we want to see next when it comes to a Metal Gear Solid game getting remade. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.